Yo, Mario.
Yes, friend.
Here's a quick question for you.
I'm all ears.
Are you at the level of turnt that I'm at right now?
I have one beer.
You have a beer? Bro!
I know.
Bitching it up.
All right. I can grab a drink real quick.
Go grab a drink. Go grab a drink. Commit. You fought for this.
I am on beverage 3.
You fought for this.
Wait, what did I say when I left? When I got out of the car? I got to move quick. I got to get turnt because this podcast is about to happen.
Welcome to another FanCast Fridays. It's your boy Neth. How y'all doing?
Doing great.
The enthusiasm.
It's March Madness, people. And so we are going to make a FanCast bracket. We're each going to go through our round of 64, 32, and 16 of one division. So one of us has the East, another has the West, Midwest, and South. Actually, let's go through that. Mario, you're with the East.
Yes, I am. Guys, hello. Good morning. This is Mario, your boy, covering the East today in this March Madness.
Cody has the South.
That's right.
Man, a few
That's
words.
right. And Brian, Midwest.
I am disrespected. I'm sorry. I come up with the best intro and everybody steals it. It's your boy, Brian. I have the Midwest, the best conference, Kansas conference.
That's debatable.
Go ahead, Neth. Let's hear how this whole bracket is going to work.
All right. This is how it's going to go. We're going to each take turns covering our round of 64, 32, and 16. All right. We will be in charge of determining every result of each of those rounds in our divisions. After that, when it gets to the Elite 8 and on, we'll explain each matchup for the other 3 members, and they'll vote who advances in our bracket. From there, the final 4 and finals will do the same thing. If we ever tie for some reason, Rezo is the tiebreaker.
Let's hear it, Rezo. There we go.
What do you want me to say?
That's perfect. That's all we do.
Love it. Love it. That's all we needed. All right. So we are going to do this, as always, in alphabetical order. So Bryant in the Midwest, take us away.
Wonderful. What's up, you little... It's Brian. We're talking about the Midwest here. Let's start off with a bang. We're starting off with the number 1 against the number 16 Pennsylvania. This is an obvious choice. Kansas is just such a basketball school, just so heavy, just such a big team. You got to pick Kansas to win, obviously. Let's move on to a more just tough matchup to pick. Seton Hall versus NC State, the 8 seed versus the 9 seed. This is my first technical upset, which isn't really an upset because it's such a close matchup. I'm going NC State, taking it over Seton Hall. No particular reason, because we're only in the
For no reason whatsoever.
Next up, in the next matchup, we got seeded number 5 Clemson against New Mexico State. Who knows anything about New Mexico State? Absolutely nobody. Clemson Bulldogs pull it out. They're taking the victory. Next up, we're looking at Auburn versus Charleston. The number 4 seeded Auburn versus the number 1, 3, 13 seeded Charleston. Auburn takes that without a doubt. They move on to the round of 32.
I'm loving these upsets, by the way.
Auburn's number 4. They're not an upset at all.
No, I'm just saying, like, you're picking no upsets in the first.
Picked an upset.
I technically picked an upset.
Picked an upset.
Oh my god.
Maybe listen.
All right. TSU, number 6, versus already at the time of this recording, we have learned that Syracuse has made it into the next round. This one is a technical, tough matchup because Syracuse plays a very tough zone defense, which is considered a 2-2-1 zone defense. But that's okay because the TCU coach has played against the 2-2-1 zone defense quite a lot. And I think that they overcome Syracuse, move on to the next round. Okay. Next, we're moving on to the Michigan State number 3 seed versus the number 14 Bucknell. I love me some Michigan State right now. Okay. They're moving on to the next round. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, playing against TSU in the round of 32. Next, we got Oklahoma versus Rhode Island. Rhode Island, the number 7 seed. Oklahoma, the number 10 seed. I pick Oklahoma to move on
I didn't realize Rhode Island was in the Midwest.
over Rhode Island.
You believe in the Trey Young hype?
And then we got Duke versus, I got to be honest, I don't know how to pronounce this.
Iona.
Iona. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Doesn't matter. Iona done. Duke moves forward.
Oh my god.
Okay. Now we're moving on to the round of 32,
Okay.
boys and girls. We got game 1, Kansas, NC State. Kansas just, there's so much basketball in Kansas, okay? That's all they care about in Kansas. They realize they're like, football, probably not a forte. Hockey, definitely not. Baseball, maybe. Doesn't matter. Kansas moves on. Then we got Clemson, the Clemson Bulldogs versus Auburn. I got to be honest. I don't know what Auburn's team is, but I know what Clemson is. Clemson moves on. All right. Great talk, boys. All right. Third game, TCU, Michigan State. Stated previously, I like me some Michigan State. Michigan State moves on. Here we go. All right. Game 4, Oklahoma versus Duke. Cody, who do you think I'm going to pick?
I know who you should pick, but I have a feeling you're going to go with Oklahoma.
Man, you are so wrong. Duke moves on. Here
Oh,
we
thank
go.
God.
Moving on to our round of Sweet 16. Here we go. Kansas versus the Clemson Bulldogs.
No,
Clemson,
no.
I know exactly what your mascot is. And I know it's not as good as Kansas. Kansas moves on. Then we got Michigan State versus Duke. Okay. Let me tell you about a one Miles Bridges and how he is literally going to decimate Duke single-handedly. Okay. I gave Duke a couple free passes here in this tournament, despite the fact a history of losing early and just being just the team that ruined everybody's bracket.
What are you
Okay.
talking about?
Okay. So 3 of the last 4 years, they've lost in at least round 32. Cody Bellevue. Okay.
By his real name.
In
Okay.
their 23rd consecutive tourney appearance.
Okay. But that's not in the last 3 or 4 years. Okay. As I stated, they have lost a whole lot. And Michigan
Not good.
State is not a team that they are about to beat because Michigan State moves on to the Elite 8.
I can't believe you're going against Mike Krzyzewski. I really can't.
Mike
Brian,
Krzyzewski
I
is
can't believe you're going against Mike
it's
Krzyzewski.
just I love me some Coach K.
Can I
But
tell you? Oh,
this isn't the Olympic team, is it? No, it's not. It's Duke. They're gonna lose again. They're gonna disappoint everybody. They're gonna destroy brackets. Michigan State moves on to play Kansas in the Elite 8. Let's hear it, Mario. What do you got to say?
I don't know what you have against Tigers, but both Clemson and Auburn, who you have no idea what either of their teams are. They're both the Tigers. It was so
Oh, no!
easy. It's the same team. It's the same
no!
exact animal.
Who's
That's
the
it.
Bulldogs? Who's the Bulldogs then?
Saga.
Saga.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my god. Georgia Bulldogs, Butler Bulldogs, Zaga Bulldogs. There's a lot of Bulldogs, and you didn't get
There's
it
a
right.
lot of repetition in college
I didn't
basketball.
right. I didn't
There's
say
not
that
not
many
right.
animals.
There's a lot of repetition.
But the
All right.
point is Clemson not even making it to the Elite 8. Cody, I'm passing it off to you. You salty bastard. Let's hear it.
I just still can't believe that you didn't pick Duke
I
to at
can't.
least make it to the Elite Eight.
Yep.
All-
Now you're
literally,
gonna have to pick
all
between
5 of
Kansas
their
and Michigan
titles.
State.
Listen, all 5 of their titles have come as the 1 or the 2 seed. They are a 2 seed this year. They have Coach K, who
Good for
is
them.
the pop of the NCAA. By the
Pop
way,
loses.
Yeah, Pop's about to miss the playoffs. I don't know what you're talking about.
they
No,
are
don't
one
be
of the great
disrespecting
college
this
basketball
man.
franchises. They got
Tell me
a
about your-
great offense.
More importantly, what conference are you in, friend?
Baffled.
And what teams do
Baffled.
we have advancing?
Baffled. I went with the South, so I will be covering the South.
Excellent.
So let's start with the 1 versus the 16. So Virginia
Okay.
versus UMBC. We got Virginia, obviously.
Of
The
course.
number 1 team in the tournament overall they're gonna win. That's not even a question. They're 6-1 for Westgate to win it. They're
To
gonna
win this one game, they're 6-1 odds. If I
to
bet
win
on
the
this
whole
game.
tournament. To
Oh.
literally win the tourney. To run the tourney and win.
That's a stretch.
They're probably
next?
their odds are probably much higher
Who's
to win
next?
this game. Okay. Next game, we got Creighton versus Kansas State University.
The
I
lesser
have-
Kansas choice.
I have Kansas State the 9,
Ooh!
the 8 to move on into the round of 32.
Solid
Copycat.
pick.
One of the more popular games in this tournament is Kentucky against Davidson. Kentucky's the 5, Davidson is the 12.
Shocking, because Kentucky is usually rated like pretty high, like top 3 team.
Yeah, the Wildcats are usually good. They're not this year.
I mean, Kentucky is a good team. Kentucky got their lowest seed in 2014 and made a run to the championship game. Okay. They're 7-1 over their last 8 games while averaging 80.4 points per game.
Pretty good.
Pretty definitely
So,
good.
I'm
Very
going
good.
to pick Kentucky. As much as Davidson is a good sleeper, I'm going to pick Kentucky to move on to the round of 32.
Davidson
Although
doesn't have
Davidson
Steph
was
Curry,
one of the more
so
popular sleepers for an upset.
Davidson doesn't have a Curry on their team, so
They don't have a Curry anymore. That is true. Next, we got Arizona against Buffalo. I am going to go with Arizona to move on, the 4 seed, to go against Kentucky.
solid choice.
We got number 6, Miami against Loyola. The
Loyola.
I picked Miami to move on. Next, I got Tennessee. What?
Miami, Florida, or Miami, Ohio?
Oh my God.
There's 2 Miamis in college.
Sorry, Miami 4. I'm in the South.
I mean, West Virginia. I mean, Rhode Island was in
Sorry,
Midwest, so who knows?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
No, Miami, Florida. Sorry, why? Don't confuse me.
Don't confuse me.
Next, I got Tennessee. Moving on, they are the 3 seed. Then we got Nevada and we got Texas. Texas is the 10 seed. I have them moving on. And then the last game in the round of 64 is Cincinnati, the number 2 seed, who I also have moving on.
Oh.
One of the very strong teams out of the South. All right, so the round of 32. We've got Virginia versus Kansas State University. Not even a competition. Virginia moves on.
Oh,
Top team in the tournament, they're going to move on. No competition. Kentucky versus Arizona. I have Kentucky moving on here
Oh,
into the Sweet 16.
I have a certain fiance who is gonna have some words with you.
Yeah.
And that happens to be my fiance, who is
Oh.
a huge Arizona fan.
really?
He's gonna, yes, very big Arizona fan, who is gonna possibly attack you, Cody. I would probably sleep with one eye open for the next few days if I were you.
Man, she does. Oh, she
Terrifying.
does know where I live. Yeah. All right. I probably should do that.
Yeah, she knows exactly where you live.
Keep my doors locked. Okay. Next, we got Miami against Tennessee. Tennessee being the 3 seed. I have them moving on into the Sweet 16. And then lastly, out of the round of 32, Cincinnati against Texas. Cincinnati moves on into the Sweet 16.
And with the most boring Sweet 16 that we've ever seen, let's hear it, Cody.
Boring Sweet 16.
Boring.
First
The 1
matchup,
versus 5
Virginia.
and the 3 versus 2.
I wouldn't call that boring. It's not.
Yeah, I would.
Got Virginia over Kentucky. Virginia moves on in a close one into the Elite Eight. And then Tennessee versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati moves on.
Wow.
Virginia versus Cincinnati in the Elite Eight.
The 1 and the 2. Beautiful. That's it. Is it me? Is it East time?
I think
Yeah,
it's
come on, man,
East
let's
time.
go.
Talk about the East, guys. I am excited. First matchup we got, round of 64. Villanova versus the first 4 matchup of Long Island University versus Radford. First off, I was pulling for Long Island University. They didn't win, so Radford's moving on to play Villanova. This is a bye week. Villanova wins it. Next up, you got Virginia Tech versus Alabama. This ain't football. Virginia Tech has 5 players averaging double digits in scoring. The Tide rolls no more. Virginia Tech moves on.
Oh,
Crushing.
right.
Next up, we got number 5, West Virginia versus number 12, Murray State. Murray State is 14-1 in their past 15 games, but they're not 14-1 against teams of West Virginia's caliber. Mountaineers roll on.
Solid choice.
Next up, we got number 4, Wichita State against number 13, Marshall. This is going to be one of the best games of the first round, and you heard it here first. Marshall is ranked in the top 10 of shooting percentage inside the arc, and Greg Marshall coached Wichita State has a top 5 offense. This is going to be a complete shootout, but the Wichita State Shockers are going to move on. Next up, number 6, Florida versus the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. What a team name. So St. Bonaventure Bonnies beat UCLA to have the chance to play Florida. So anyways, about this matchup, for a no-name school, St. Bonaventure Bonnies should be respected. They've had one of the tougher. They should be respected.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've had a tougher schedule and have still put up an impressive record. But honestly, it's bracket time, baby. And this team does not have what it takes to be resilient against the streaky Florida Gators. Gators move on. Next up, we got number 3, Texas Tech against number 14, SF Austin. The Lumberjacks lead the nation in defensive turnover rate. And you know what? You still haven't heard of them. Texas Tech rolls on. Number 7, Arkansas versus number 10, Butler. Arkansas has no big wins and 8 double-digit losses. Butler has heart. Butler moves on in this upset.
Bang! What? You're upset if they're around 64.
Last and not least, in the round of 64, you got number 2, Purdue versus number 15, CSF Fullerton. It's CSU Fullerton's 3rd appearance in history in the March Madness bracket. And I feel like that is enough said. Purdue moves on.
Hey, they got to be happy just to be there.
Honestly, I don't blame them. I'd be happy to be there too. CSU Fullerton. Buy a shirt. Next up, we got in the first matchup of the round of 32, Villanova versus Virginia Tech. The Virginia Tech Hokies have big wins over Duke, UNC, and Virginia, Cody's favorite. But they've crumbled against teams that can't handle their athleticism, including Louisville and Miami, Florida. Villanova is just too stacked with future NBA-level talent to be daunted by the size of Virginia Tech. Nova marches on. Next matchup, we got West Virginia against Wichita State. So against Baylor in the Big 12 tournament, Bob Huggins' aggressive West Virginia squad forced 22 turnovers in a win. And now, I mentioned before, or I didn't, so I'll mention it now. Wichita State has a top 5 offense. Amazing. But they also have a sub 100 defense.
Oof.
Yeah. And for that reason, the Mountaineers march on. Next matchup we got Florida versus Texas Tech. This is an upset. Florida wins it. Texas Tech's defense has held opponents to a subpar 54.3% at the rim. That's good for 25th in the country. But that doesn't matter because Florida is a streaky shooter team. And that's a team who has 4 shooters who have connected on more than 39% of their 3-point attempts. Texas Tech, it doesn't matter how good you are defending the rim because Florida is just going to drain at you from afar.
You're depending on a lot of forces to come together though.
You know I am, but you know what this is? This is March, baby. This is where the magic comes together, and I'm excited about it.
I respect it.
Last matchup of the round of 32 is number 10 Butler versus number 2 Purdue. Butler is 4-3 in games decided by 5 or less points this season. Not only that, but they got rocked 82-67 when these two teams played earlier in the regular season. Purdue is big. You can't teach big. Purdue wins this and moves on to the Sweet 16. So now quick recap. Our Sweet 16 matchups are Villanova versus West Virginia and Purdue versus Florida. First matchup, number 1 Nova versus number 5 West Virginia. And I wanted you to know, I preached about the Mountaineers' ability to force turnovers. And they actually forced 14 turnovers in the regular season finale against Texas, which is great. But off those turnovers, they failed to convert those turnovers into sufficient offense. They actually only shot 27% of their three-pointers, and they ended up losing that game where they forced so many turnovers. And I'm going to compliment West Virginia. I'm a big fan. They have the hustle. They have the aggression, which is important, but they have unreliable shooters. And at the end of the day, they're going to lose to the best offense in college basketball.
3 greater than 2.
3 is more than 2, guys. I've been preaching this. Like, basketball is solved. 3 is more than 2. Like, it's so easy. I don't understand. So Nova moves on. The 1 seed continues to march. And then last, we got the number 6 Florida versus the number 2 Purdue. Florida is a team built on streaks. And that's what March is about, baby. March is about getting hot at the right time. And they keep it hot. Purdue's size doesn't matter if you're Florida and you're just shooting shots behind the arc and hitting them. Florida moves on. So in the East, you got the Elite 8.
My God!
So in the East, you got the Elite 8 matchup of number 1 Villanova versus number 6 Florida.
Do you think Florida can keep it up for that long?
I do. It's just like, you just got to win. That's 3 games. You just got to be hot for 3 games. They've been hot for longer. Could they be hot for more? You guys will decide when we get there.
Oh boy!
I love it.
Oh boy!
Woo!
All right.
So, Neth, how you gonna top that act, bro?
Oh my gosh. There's no need to top it. I'm just gonna tell you all what's about to happen. First matchup, Xavier versus Texas South. Texas South actually just played a game against North Carolina Central, I believe, in which they gave them a slacking. It was bad. North Carolina didn't have a chance in this game. They led early and often. They were on a 7-game win streak going into that game, and now they're on a 8-game win streak into the tournament, which is pretty good. All right. Xavier, they reached the Elite 8 in 2017, but their defense has been like kind of shaky, and this is their second year back in it. Obviously, at the end of the day, you're going to go with Xavier. They're just too much better, even though Texas is on this win streak, and I was low-key thinking of having them be my dark horse early to do my upsets. I just couldn't see it at the end of the day. Moving on, we're going to do some Missouri versus Florida State. I'm going to go again with some Missouri. Yet again, Florida State and Missouri, very comparable teams. But from what I can see, Missouri is clearly going to be able to edge this one out. Ohio State versus South Dakota State. Upset here, South Dakota State. Ohio State has gone through so many. Yeah, that's right. South Dakota State is healthy. Ohio State, although they're still very good. I'm not saying that South Dakota State is now amazing and is on par. I'm saying that Ohio State is beat up, and it is the opportunity of a lifetime. If there is a clear opportunity to just snag one, this is it right here. So South Dakota State upset Ohio State for that spot. Going down to Gonzaga versus UNC Green. I'm gonna go with Gonzaga. I love me some Gonzaga. There's no two ways about it.
You love you some Adam Morrison? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's hear it. Adam Morrison, just NBA fucking prospect extraordinaire.
Look, the Bulldogs are going to make it through and through this year. All right.
I'm happy
they
you knew the team.
The Bulldogs are gonna make it through this year. I'm gonna butcher all these guys' names, but actually no, just 2 of them. Rui Hachimukuya
I don't know what the right pronunciation is, but I know that's wrong.
Damn straight you do. All right. He's 6'8". He's averaging 11.3 points per games. You got Jonathan Williams, 6'9" forward. All right, equipped to guard all positions, and you get Kelly and Tittle, 6'11" prospect. That's right, who's made 50% of his 3-pointers. Gonzaga is my pick in this bracket. It's going to be shown by these picks going forward. From there, San Diego State up against Houston. I'm going with San Diego State, people.
Wow.
I'm going with some San Diego State. I'm spicing things up in my bracket. You know,
I
I believe in the magic.
But man, I didn't have them that far. Good for you.
I'm telling you, like, I believe in the magic of this tournament, people. All right. If there's ever time to believe, it is right here, right now. Okay. So I'm seeing them going up against Houston and getting it done. Michigan, Montana. Gonna go with Michigan, of course. This is not an instance where I see an upset coming. Michigan is that staple, is that good, and Montana is not on the level of Michigan. Moving on to Texas A&M versus Providence. I like Texas A&M. They're a good squad to me.
How could you not?
How can you not like Texas A&M? I love Texas A&M. Then finally, we're going to end with North
Because
Carolina.
Providence has the better record.
It doesn't all come down to record, as I've shown in my picks.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't all come down to seeding either, though.
Yet again, as shown in my picks, we've had some pretty good upsets here. All right.
Solid
On to
choice.
North Carolina, and I'm going to butcher this one. Lipscomb. I went with North Carolina. I thought that was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, pretty solid choice. Michael Jordan's team, obviously.
Moving on to my round of 32. I got Xavier going up against Missouri. Of course, it's going to end up being Xavier. Xavier is significantly better than Missouri. Let's not get it twisted. Their offense is amazing. You got Trayvon averaging 19.5 points per game on 42% shooting from the 3-point line. Handles business there. Gonzaga is going to go up against South Dakota State. This is where South Dakota State's luck runs out, people. They're going to run up against the wall. That is Gonzaga, my clear favorite in this bracket. Going on from there, we have San Diego State going up against Michigan. Michigan handles their business. There is a huge gap between these teams. I don't think that my disruptors in the first round have enough to go very deep, but I do see them as great upsets nonetheless and great games to watch. Lastly, we got North Carolina going up against Texas A&M. I see Texas A&M beating North Carolina.
What?
Yep, that's right. We're keeping
Texas
it spicy.
A&M beats North
Carolina. You're gonna wake up and that's gonna be the headline.
This is
On
an 81
in
odds.
Charlotte. This
How
is a matchup
dare
in
you.
Charlotte.
In Charlotte, I see Texas A&M giving us one of the best games we've seen and taking down North Carolina.
Is Johnny
Love it.
Manziel playing for this team?
Dude,
Like, what is
I
happening?
believe. Look, if you're not gonna believe during March Madness, then I don't know. Like, there's never a time to believe. You gotta, when you feel it in your heart, you ride that. And I'm riding
Picking the
Texas A&M.
Cinderella story. Good for
I
him.
love it. I love Texas A&M here. All right, we're gonna go to the next round, which is gonna be Xavier versus Gonzaga. We're gonna go ahead and say Gonzaga. Oh, Gonzaga.
This is
Wow.
the most upset-heavy conference
Xavier.
I've ever seen in my life.
Unpredictable
Gonzaga.
West.
Big numbers. Big numbers doesn't mean better.
Gonzaga means beats Xavier. It's their year. They're taking a run all the way through. Then Michigan up against Texas A&M. And what happens, people?
Don't say.
Oh, I will say it. Texas A&M. Beats Michigan good. Beats Michigan. And they're
How
going
much
to go.
money do you have on Texas A&M right now?
No, I'm
That's what I
telling you,
wanna
I'm
know.
feeling Texas
Come
A&M.
on.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm feeling Texas A&M, and I'm feeling Gonzaga. Like, that's all that needs to be said. They're gonna go to my Elite Eight, and that right there is my bracket, people.
Okay. I want to hear your argument for who is going to make it between Texas A&M, the 7 seed, and Gonzaga, the 4 seed. Let's hear it, Mr. Nathaniel.
All right, here we go. Clearly, I'm a dreamer, some might say, by my bracket. I believe that a lot of things are possible. But if there's one thing that I've been saying this entire time, it's that Gonzaga, the Bulldogs, are gonna handle business. All right, the Bulldogs blitz through the WCC tournament and have the talent and experience to make it to another run in the Final Four. I love everything that Texas A&M is doing. I really think that there is something there. Every time I watch this team, electric. But you know what? Gonzaga has it's the bubbling pot. All right.
Did you just call it the WCAA? What did you just call this tournament?
The through the WCC tournament.
What does that mean?
AA tournament?
No, so when I was looking it up, they had blazed through the WCC tournament, and it looked like.
What does that mean? What is the WCC tournament?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know acronyms.
All right, well then don't use it if you don't know it.
Yeah,
it's a stat. What do you mean?
Got him.
I could say BDD tournament, and that sounds legit. But
What?
2x25 tournament, of course.
Yeah, that doesn't disqualify anything I'm saying. All right, that doesn't disqualify anything I'm saying. I don't know what the SEC
the big
stands
baller
for.
brand.
He said
NCAA is the
letters
National
together.
College Athletic Association.
the BDSM
I don't know that.
tournament.
I don't look up what abbreviations look like. It's just like the abbreviation for it.
Okay, great.
all right.
But anyway, Gonzaga has everything it needs.
So you think Gonzaga?
Gonzaga?
You know what? All right, boys. Let's take our vote. And I think it's only fair to go in alphabetical order here. And I'm on the hype train more than Neth thinks I am. My vote is for Texas A&M to upset Gonzaga.
Oh, you
sly son of a bitch.
Let's hear it, Cody.
I'm gonna go with Gonzaga to take out Texas A&M.
Oh, so it's all on me?
It's all on Mario.
Mario, Gonzaga.
Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got here.
Zaga does it.
Oh,
There you go.
Zaga
Gonzaga
does it.
is handling business, people.
I didn't hear a word about Texas A&M. Nath seems to really think
Yeah,
Zaga does
homeboy-
it. I trust
homeboy
him.
didn't say a thing about Texas A&M.
What's
Texas A&M,
A&M's
they don't
mascot?
They don't
What
shoot
is their
the
team
three
name?
very well. They don't shoot the three very well. They can rebound, but they don't shoot the three very well. They're not going to score.
All right, Mr. Mario. Let's hear what you got to say.
I will. So it comes down to two teams in the Elite Eight for the East. You got the number 1 seed Villanova, who honestly I feel has 4 legit NBA prospects against the number 6 Florida. Now that's not to discredit Florida. Florida, when they are on, they are on. They are a streaky team, and as I mentioned earlier, March Madness is about streaks. It's about getting hot at the right time, and so I feel that this could be a good game. I think that if Florida isn't at their best, Nova wins it every time. If Florida plays their best, it's a close game. And so if it is a close game, I come to you, my FanCast family, who wins this.
Hashtag Florida Pride. AKA, I don't live in Florida, but that's okay. I pick Florida to win. I think they get hot at the right time. And I think Florida just too much for Villanova.
Close.
Oh my goodness.
Bang.
Villanova takes it. When this bracket came out, it was hard to look and argue that they didn't have the easiest road to the tournament through the East. For all number 1 seeds, Villanova literally had the easiest road to the tournament. And I'm not differing from that. I think that Villanova moves on. One of the hottest offensive teams.
Nah.
They definitely take it.
I also don't see this being a Cinderella story. Villanova takes the win.
Oh,
They're the favorites to win, 7-2.
Damn right. Damn right they are. Cody, tell me your story.
All right. So in my Elite Eight, I got Virginia against Cincinnati, the 1 versus the 2. Now you guys can jump all over me for that. But that's how I think this is going to turn out. Okay. I am going to go with Virginia, obviously, the hottest team, one of the best defensive team in the tournament, and a top offensive team. The ACC tourney champs will go on to the Final Four. As good as Cincinnati has been, Virginia wins.
I just really love playing devil's advocate here and just making it
Wasn't
a tough
clear.
choice.
Was not clear.
Cincinnati moves on, upsets Virginia in a shocker.
Bryant doesn't want any number 1 seed in his Final Four. He just
He
does not want
a
I
single
don't.
one
You're
seed.
absolutely-
Tim.
Clearly
You're
you don't.
absolutely right.
Man went for Texas A&M. All right. I'm going to also back my boy up and go with Cincinnati.
Oh, that's it. Cincinnati moves on. Yes.
Why are you picking Cincinnati? What is your reasoning for picking Cincinnati to
I have
beat?
to argue that Cincinnati is going to beat whatever team is playing against Nathaniel.
Oh my God.
Zygo.
That is my argument.
The Bearcats did hold Wichita State to just 61 points.
They're one of the best defensive teams, and you
They
picked.
are. They are. Cody, I was going to pick Virginia just because they are the best. They are the best defensive team.
Oh my God, I can't even believe
But
it.
defense wins championships, but not in the NCAA.
Apparently not.
when it's about
Apparently
heart.
not to you guys.
Oh my God. All right.
You guys
So
don't
now-
believe in Kyle Guy.
Okay. Wow. Cincinnati Bearcats.
Okay, we're moving on to me. We're moving
Nathaniel,
on to
I hope
me.
you know that you went against the team that is called the Cavaliers. I want that to be known to the fan cast that you went against the team that's called the Cavaliers.
Good choice.
Look, everybody
Hope you
knows
can live with
that
this.
everybody knows that I'm a general basketball fan, but a lover of LeBron. So, like, really doesn't matter what team he's on. He is a franchise of unto himself.
Brian, what are those two teams you're even talking about?
Okay, so we're talking the number 1 Kansas versus the Kansas Jayhawks. I got that one locked down.
Yep.
Versus
Versus.
the Michigan State Spartans.
Whoo, he knew them both.
I know, right? And I'm going to tell you that the Spartans only beat the Jayhawks only beat the Spartans in one statistical category per game, and that is steals per game. Every other category, the Spartans outbeat, or however you want to say it, the Jayhawks. Okay, the Spartans average 41 rebounds a game to the Jayhawks 35. Assists 19 to the Jayhawks 17. Steals, again, Jayhawks have the advantage to the Michigan State Spartans 7-4. Blocks 7 for the Spartans, 4 for the Jayhawks. Okay? Michigan State is just such a stacked team that I feel like is not getting the respect they deserve. Miles Bridges is going to be such a force in the NBA. He is going to be terrifying. Oh my goodness. I cannot talk enough about this guy. 31 minutes a game as a college player and is still averaging 16 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and almost a block per game. Okay, Kansas, in my opinion, takes this game. I'm sorry, Michigan State. That's okay. Michigan State takes this game, but that's not up to me. That's up to you, the FanCast group, to back me or say, Bryant, you so dumb. Cody, what is your vote?
Bryant, You so dumb.
Woo! Bang!
Kansas Jayhawks moving to the Final Four.
Nath, let's hear it.
I'm also gonna go with the Jayhawks going into the final.
Oh, my soul!
God, I'm happy because I want to complete the sweep. I was always going Kansas. I was
Oh,
hoping he'd make it interesting, but Kansas. So I'm just going one. Like
how are you going to pick Kansas when Michigan
they have the
State
star power. They have the
Michigan
star
beats
power.
Kansas in every statistical category except for steals?
Final. So this is the tournament. This is March Madness. It's all about heart. What did Captain Planet teach you? It's about heart, and I'm not seeing it from Michigan.
Oh my goodness! I can't wait till our bracket is ruined because you guys picked Kansas over Michigan.
Ruined.
All right.
Ruined.
Are we on the
one
final
who picked-
four?
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're on the final four. And in
Ruined.
case you weren't paying attention, the final four as we have it are Gonzaga Bulldogs versus the Cincinnati Bearcats. And then you have the Villanova Wildcats versus the Kansas Jayhawks. Whew, that feels good.
Ooh.
All right, let's talk about the South versus the West first.
Excellent.
So that would be Gonzaga Bulldogs versus the Cincinnati Bearcats.
All right, ladies first, Cody.
Hey!
I can't even. Am I supposed to argue for Cincinnati, the team that I didn't even pick to make the Final Four? How am I supposed to argue for a team? I mean, I guess over Gonzaga. Yeah, I mean, over Gonzaga, I would go Cincinnati. If these are the two teams that end up playing each other, I'm going to go with Cincinnati. I do think they are the better team.
In what regard?
Definitely the hotter team. So I'm going to go with, out of these two teams, Cincinnati to move on to the national championship game.
All right. Well, I'm clearly going to be going with Gonzaga. Mario was talking about how the Jayhawks just had the star power, just had the bodies. Yet again, these guys have three fantastic players, at least 6'8", that is doing the damn thing, as well as a top NBA prospect who's hitting 50% of his threes. Also, they boast a fantastic defense, ranked 6th overall, all right, keeping opponents to 42.4% inside the three-point line. And Gonzaga is a better three-point shooting team, in my opinion, than Cincinnati. They've had a great run. The Bulldogs have the bite and the grit and the toughness to make it through this round. Gonzaga is the choice.
So let me tell you, Nathaniel, why I have a concern with Gonzaga.
Mhm.
I worry about their depth. When you get this far in the tournament and you're playing a top-tier team, depth is going to play a part. And they only have 7 players averaging more than 10 minutes per game.
It's not a lot of depth.
That is not a lot of depth. So I don't think that they have it depth-wise. They are a very balanced team. I agree with you. But I don't think they have it depth-wise to really take this game and move that far. If
But
they
see-
make it this far.
Look, I'm looking at your Cincinnati Bearcats. They're a great team, but I believe at the end of the day, it's gonna come down to offense as well. Like, we have a good enough defense. Let's look at our offense. The Cincinnati Bobcats offense has been pretty average as best per sports synergy. All right. Also, they're going to need 2 of their players to just carry the load. Jacob Evans and Gary Clark to just carry the offensive load if they're going to get past to play my team. Those 2 players are going to have to play great basketball. And then they're going to have to play against my team that has a top 10 ranked defense and the depth. I understand that if we are banged up going into this game, I definitely have more concerns. But if we're healthy and we're playing well like I expect us to be, I don't see why Gonzaga shouldn't be considered the favorite to win this game.
All right. Any closing comments between you two?
Gonzaga, it's so clear.
It's not clear. I just think it's Cincinnati. I think it would be a good game. I just think
You could pick between a Bulldog that will mess your face up, or a mystical thing called a Bearcat. Just this
I think
Bulldog's
there's
grit
some
and
Bulldogs that are
toughness.
really soft. Like, they look mean, but they're really not that aggressive.
I don't know if you've seen Gonzaga's
All right.
Bulldog.
All right.
So,
Bearcat's going to claw you away.
Mario, I'm going to make you make a hard choice here. I like Gonzaga to win this game.
God damn it.
Yes.
My heart's in Bearcats.
Oh.
My heart's in Bearcat country.
Oh my God! Your heart's in Bearcats.
My heart's in Bearcat country.
Go on,
But
Cy.
why?
Yo,
But
it's
why?
Cincinnati.
But why? Like, honestly, I kind of agree. They don't have depth. If you only have 7 players playing 10 or more minutes a game, that's a problem, especially in a
Yeah,
tournament.
but in
It's
college,
not a
where there are only 2 halves of basketball,
Listen,
it's not something to be concerned about.
Cincinnati.
shows is
I would have
balance.
picked Virginia. I would have picked Virginia if they were here, but they're not. And Cincinnati is the only team that's played better defense than Cincinnati is Virginia. Cincinnati is a defensive team, and defense wins championships. And I think that
But they're
Gonzaga
both
isn't.
going through-
Gonzaga's
So
better.
we have a tiebreaker, which means that we need our guy Rezo.
We need Rezo. We need Rezo in the
break this
booth.
tiebreaker.
Yo, all right. tiebreaker.
Gonzaga, Cincinnati.
Which team do you pick?
Wait,
Well,
Bulldogs,
see-
Bulldogs or Bearcats?
From what I've heard between
Which isn't
both
a lot
parties,
because you were AFK for a little while.
Doesn't need to be stated.
No, it needs to be stated. I want the world to know how this.
just the way that Neth says
Come on,
Gonzaga
Gonzaga.
is my vote. That's my vote.
Oh, we are crazy. Oh man,
Y'all drunk.
there's no order here. We've lost all order.
so screwed. I
Lost
can't
all order.
Oh my god. All right. Now we're going to the other side of the universe.
We
Brian, I
lost
don't even
all
remember
order.
what team you're playing. Oh, Kansas.
Kansas,
Okay.
Mario. The number 1 ranked Kansas is who y'all picked to move on to the
Yeah.
next round.
Yeah. You know who else is number 1?
Y'all quacked up.
Villanova
Y'all quacked
Wildcats.
up right now.
You ever see High
Okay.
School Musical? It's based on the Wildcats.
No one likes Villanova, okay? Kansas is one of the premier basketball schools in all of the United States. Devontae Graham is going to come in and take you guys for a ride, okay? Here's a question for you, Mario.
Sure.
These teams are pretty evenly matched, okay? You know what Kansas has the advantage on the Villanova Wildcats?
Tell me.
It's one of your favorite parts of basketball,
Oh boy.
and that is the 3-point
There.
shot,
There it is.
Mario.
There it is.
39% for the Villanova Wildcats versus the 40% for the Kansas Jayhawks. Okay, almost everything else they're dead even in. So this is going to be a phenomenal game of basketball.
Great game of basketball.
If this ends up being the culmination of our terrible bracket.
Which it will be, because we're accurate.
Yeah, fair enough. It might be a good chance that the number 1 ranked teams are going to play each other.
All right, that's all fair and fine and dandy. But I just want to start off by talking about Villanova, the Wildcats, because they're
Let's
so
hear
good.
it. Let's hear it.
So first off, they're favorites to win it all. Next, Villanova has the probable National Player of the Year in Jalen Brunson. And not only that, there are nights where he doesn't even look like the best guy on this team because they're that deep. Okay, they might have Brunson win National Player of the Year, and then you have Mikal Bridges who's going to win the Final Four MVP. Did I mention that they're the number 1 offense in the entire country? This is the best offense in the country. The game is about buckets, and that's what Villanova does.
Except for the 3-point shot,
They get buckets consistently. Okay?
minus the 3-point shot.
Now let's take a look at Kansas. Let's
39%.
take a trip across the river, the Mississippi, and let's go down to Kansas. Okay, Kansas's coach Self is using a system of 4 guards and a big man this year. Okay, and that gives them a solid offense. Don't get me wrong, that gives them a solid offense. But can I tell you that this is the worst defense Coach Self has had in Kansas since he's been there, and he's been there since 2003. Not to mention their sophomore center Udoka Azui. I can't say this. Azui Biyaki, their best asset in the paint, missed the conference tournament with a sprained ACL. If this team even wants to compete with Nova, they're going to have to be 100% healthy. Not to mention, since they have 4 guards and then a big man, they're designed to be an offensive threat. And they're not the best offense in the entire tournament. They're playing the best offense in the tournament.
Let's talk about Slivakitov Mikhatilak.
Let's talk about him.
Dude is shooting 45% from 3. Okay? This dude is going to be a problem
They
for
don't shoot.
Villanova. This booty team in the three-point era of basketball can't even break 40% from 3. And you're going to tell me that in the modern NBA, as you, a modern NBA fan, are going to try to pick Villanova against a stronger three-point shooting team?
Yes, because this isn't the NBA.
I don't believe that your argument is valid based on your current status as a basketball fan.
This ain't the NBA.
Attacking this man personally.
Yeah,
That is
I am.
a personal attack.
I am.
This ain't the NBA. I have nothing more to say. Villanova says everything I can by just
All right,
being a
Cody.
better team.
What is your vote, my friend?
No, I'm with Mario on this one easily. Villanova ranked.
Easily,
They boast the top offense. I honestly, I didn't even pick Kansas to go to the Final Four. I picked Duke. I
It's garbage.
picked Duke. I think Duke's a better team than Kansas. Villanova is averaging 87.1 points per game.
87.1.
Best offense.
Best offense. It doesn't matter if 3's more than 2 if you just score more. It doesn't. You just score more.
Does
Oh
it,
my
Mario?
God. That's the
It
most
does.
scientific thing I've ever heard.
Does it?
It-
Because
that literally is a fact.
that we've had.
Fact.
All you say is 3 is greater than 2.
Now,
You can't argue that logic.
Now,
I think
let's
that
hear
the
it.
Wildcats. I mean, come on.
Let's
It's first of all, also it's the Wildcats.
Wildcats.
Here's a fun fact. There was a 54.2% chance that at least one Wildcat team, because there's a few, would make it to the Final Four.
I'd bet on that.
That's not
Glad-
important. Your pick has been made.
Glad it was Villanova.
Nah,
Now, the best man at my wedding.
Oh my God.
Oh, you can't play that.
irrelevant. Irrelevant.
Play that
card.
Irrelevant.
Hear your pick.
Oh
My dearest and oldest friend.
Oh my God.
Irrelevant.
No peer pressure.
Irrelevant.
Let's
Broken
hear
record.
your pick.
Oh my God. This guy's laying it on super thick right now.
Bro, just go with your heart. Go with your instinct.
Yeah.
That Wildcat
My
instinct.
Instincts. Oh my God. All right. Don't be mad, but I went ahead and chose the Villanova Wildcats to win this game.
You're damn right you did. Because you're a smart man. who understands
Dare
that.
you?
See ya. We don't even need to get Russell in this.
I know they're probably gonna pick Villanova to beat Gonzaga, but I don't know. Villanova's really good. They're just really, really good. And it's like I went with my heart to get Gonzaga as far as it did. All heart. Gonzaga is my heart team. But like there's a time when just 2 + 2 = 4, and there's a team that is better than another, and that is Villanova.
It was Michigan State. You sick bastards. It was Michigan State. That was the team.
Look,
Y'all picked Kansas.
Kansas. Let's fast forward to the finals. It's game day, ladies and gentlemen.
God.
Wake up. It's a national championship. Wildcats versus Bulldogs.
what more needs to be said? All right.
What more
The
needs to be said?
We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna first give the Villanova Wildcats their just dues. They are the best team in the league. They are the 72 win Warriors going up against
73 games.
that team, that Warriors team. They represent that, and my Gonzaga Bulldogs represent the 2016 Cavaliers. Going in, everybody's like they're gonna have no chance. But you know what's gonna happen? One, I'm gonna tell you exactly what's gonna happen. You're going to have an amazing performance, all right, off the back of each of our 3 top tier NBA ready players in Rui, Jonathan, and Killian. And that heart, that Jimmy V soul power is going to be with this team and propel them past the Villanova Wildcats, who are the best team on paper, the best team in the tournament. But best team doesn't equal the final team. And I think at the end of the day, heart is what March Madness, this tournament, is about. Gonzaga wins it. That's what I got.
Before I get into it, Nathaniel. Now, before I get into this, Nath, I'm gonna compliment Gonzaga. Gonzaga has held opposing teams to 43.4% in 3-point line.
Inside the 3-point line. Yep.
Beautiful. But can I tell you it doesn't matter because this team, Villanova, they don't shoot threes. Okay? It doesn't matter.
You're right there.
No, then it does matter.
At the 3-point line. Sorry.
No, inside of the 3-point line. We're good inside of the 3-point line, which is good against your team because you guys don't really shoot threes that much.
At the 3-point line. Doesn't matter. I digress. Villanova has 4 players with legitimate NBA potential. Amari Spellman, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, Dante DaVinci Cerro. Can't say that. They have not only do they have 4 NBA prospects, they have experience coaching with Jay Wright, whose resume includes 2 Final Four appearances, 3 Big East tournament wins, and a championship just 2 years ago. Not only do they have all these, they have chemistry. They have an unrivaled chemistry. When they turn it on, when they flip the switch, no team in the country can beat Villanova Wildcats. Period. And they're not about to let some Gonzaga Bulldogs just show up and just even pretend to attend this national championship. Villanova Wildcats embarrass and make an example of Gonzaga. Nova wins it.
Now it's very
march on.
It's very easy to say that Villanova's gonna win this. All right. And Mario, you did
almost too easy.
It's exactly. Thank you for saying it for me. Too easy is correct. You brought up a great point in your own analysis. That is your team, which is great inside the 3-point line. All right. Is going up against a team who is one of the best in the country of defense within that space. What I'm talking about here is flashes in a pan. A couple great games. 3 great games on the back of 3 great players in Hachimura, Williams, and Tilly. All right. One of them, the 6'11" NBA prospect who's shooting 50% from 3, is going to have a great game, while the others are going to stay even keeled as well. Like I said, you have all the rights in the world to pick the favorite, the favorite team of the Wildcats, but heart and passion equal skill in March Madness, and Gonzaga has it just where it counts to edge this one through.
See, I didn't hear heart from you. I just heard you tell me about players and them just being big or great. But that doesn't matter when you play Villanova. Villanova is just greater. It doesn't matter how big you are. They're just better at getting the ball.
I agree. And the bigger, better team will win. Villanova will take this game. I told you.
Floor's open.
We talked in the last game that I didn't think Gonzaga had the depth. I didn't think they had the power. And that stands even truer now in the national championship game against the best offensive team in the tournament.
The best offense. Did I mention the best offense?
It's their year. Gonzaga, I don't care how much heart you can put into it, but you can't take out Villanova.
Look, somebody has to believe it. I will.
If you make it to the championship game, consider that a win as Gonzaga as a 4 seed. That's a great run. But against Villanova, that's where your luck will run out.
So, Cody, Mario, I have some serious unfortunate news for you, because y'all might have some troubling issues that you might need to go see a doctor about.
Oh boy.
And that is a lack of heart. Okay. Gonzaga, the team that just fought through adversity and made it through the brick wall that was the Villanova nobodies.
Woo!
Wildcats.
These
Seem to be confused. It's Wildcats.
wins the championship, wins
God.
the tournament, makes their way to whatever sort of trophy they get. I don't know the name of the trophy. I don't care. Villanova,
Neth, what's your pick?
straight booty. Gonzaga wins.
Wait, you want me to pick on this?
Yeah.
I mean, I picked Gonzaga.
Damn it.
Dang it!
All right, we need Rezo.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about Villanova, to be honest.
Perfect. And then
Exactly.
and what
Exactly.
what
and
scrap are
then
they
they're going.
playing?
I'm sorry. And then they're going up against the heart.
No heart.
They're going up against
heart.
passion.
No heart.
They're going up against the story and why we watch sports and March Madness. The Gonzaga Bulldogs, all right, are going up against them and making a run for this team. And I know what you're probably thinking. They got no chance. But let me tell you something. They have enough, and they have enough where it counts the most. And that is right in here, people. All right. They got 3 great star players, okay, who I think will each have an individual play/performance in.
Wait, Neth. I'm just gonna stop you right there. Villanova.
What?
Boom! Boom! Oh, fuck it! Fuck it!
My man knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about.
Nova wins it! Ah, and the crowd goes wild!
The crowd boos. That's not fun at all.
I cannot wait until Michigan State upsets everyone. And our bracket is so wrong. I
Nova wins
cannot wait!
One more time for the people in the back. And that's all for this episode of FanCast Friday. Thank you for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends, your family. Share this to grandma. She'd love it. That's all we got. Nova wins it.
Gonzaga!
It's your boy. I was cheated. Let's get out of here.
This man just legit cackled.